Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into a topic today that's probably on a lot of your minds, especially if you're listening to this show. Um, Small hair corrections for the hairline or the crown,
Yeah.
and specifically using the FUE method.
Right.
And we're talking to those of you out there who maybe are noticing a little bit of hair loss.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've had something done in the past and you're thinking about some refinements.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sensitive topic for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And we get that.
For sure.
So we're not here to pressure you, but to give you all the knowledge you need to make a decision that you feel really good about.
Exactly. And just so you know, we're going to uncover some interesting facts along the way. Did you know that there's actually a global hotspot for these procedures?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but it might surprise you.
I'm intrigued already.
Yeah.
So let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What exactly are we talking about when we say small correction procedure?
Well, when we talk about a small correction procedure, we're talking about precision, not a complete overhaul.
Right.
So we're looking at up to 2,000 grafts. And grafts are those groupings of hair follicles.
Okay.
And that limit's actually key to achieving natural-looking results.
Yeah.
Because we're focusing on specific areas that need a little boost.
Gotcha. So it's not like a full head of hair. It's more like strategic touch-ups.
Precisely.
And you mentioned FUE.
Yes.
Why is that the go-to method for these types of corrections?
So FUE stands for follicular unit extraction. And it's considered the gold standard these days.
Okay.
Because unlike older methods where they'd remove a strip of scalp, they actually use tiny little punches to extract individual follicles.
Wow.
So what does that mean? Less scarring, more precision,
Okay.
and a faster recovery time.
Got it.
All really important when you're looking for subtle, undetectable results.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I imagine even with those tiny little punches, you still need a really skilled surgeon to make it look natural.
Oh, absolutely. Expertise is paramount. Even the slightest misstep can be noticeable. So finding a surgeon who understands the artistry of hair restoration is crucial.
Right.
And they need to be able to analyze your facial structure, your hairline, your overall aesthetic goals to create a personalized plan.
Right.
It's not just about adding hair, it's about enhancing your natural features.
So it's like finding a sculptor, not just someone who moves hair around.
Exactly.
And a good clinic will also take a deep dive into your donor area, your hairline design preferences, and really importantly, your long-term goals.
Right.
Because this isn't a one-size-fits-all situation.
For sure.
They will take that 2,000 graft limit strategically,
Right.
ensuring that you get both natural-looking results, but also lasting results as well.
Okay, so who would you say are the people who benefit the most from this type of procedure?
Well, we tend to see a few key groups.
Okay.
People who are experiencing minor hair loss, especially those who want to be proactive early on.
Then we have those who've maybe had transplants before, but they're looking for refinements, maybe some density boosts.
Okay.
And finally, individuals who are prioritizing subtle enhancements.
Right.
Not those drastic transformations.
Got it.
They're looking for the best version of themselves.
Okay.
Not necessarily someone entirely different.
Okay, so feeling good,
Yeah.
comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
confident,
Absolutely.
not chasing some ideal image.
That's it.
Now, you ready for that surprise location?
I am.
The global hotspot for these procedures,
Okay.
drum roll please, is Antalya, Turkey.
That's all right.
I bet you weren't expecting that.
It's true, though. Antalya has become a real hub for hair transplants.
Okay.
And it's not just about cost, although that's definitely a factor.
Right.
They've really pioneered some specific techniques like sapphire FUE,
Oh, interesting.
which uses blades made from sapphire for even finer incisions and faster healing.
Wow.
Plus, their approach to postoperative care is really quite unique. Yet many clinics offer what's called PRP therapy,
Okay.
which involves injecting platelet-rich plasma from your own blood back into your scalp
Wow.
to stimulate healing and hair growth.
Okay, so that, coupled with a highly competitive market in Antalya,
Yeah,
drives both innovation and affordability.
absolutely.
So it's not just about the lower price tag. There's a real focus on cutting-edge techniques and aftercare, too.
Yeah, they're really on the forefront.
That's great.
And you know what? We're talking about all the technical stuff. It's important to remember that hair restoration is a deeply personal journey.
Yeah.
Even small corrections can have a huge impact on someone's confidence and how they feel about themselves.
Absolutely. It's so much more than just moving hair around.
Really is. A good clinic will recognize that and provide support throughout the entire process. They'll listen to your concerns, they'll understand your goals, and really help you feel empowered every step of the way.
So it's as much about compassion and understanding as
Right.
technical skill.
It's a whole package.
Okay, so before we move on to talking about how to choose the right clinic and surgeon for you,
Okay.
what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from the small correction approach?
I think it's crucial to remember that FUE, with a limited number of grafts, is a precise tool in the hair restoration toolkit.
Right.
It's not about achieving some perfect image.
Yeah,
It's about what makes you feel confident and comfortable in your own skin.
I love that.
Yeah.
So if someone's thinking about this,
Yeah.
what's the first step?
Well, that's a fantastic question and one that we'll definitely dive deeper into in the next section. But first, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
If subtle targeted improvements are possible,
Mm-hmm.
what aspects of your own hairline or crown
Yeah,
have you maybe been subconsciously wanting to tweak?
that is something to think about.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is, and we'll be back in a moment to help you figure out how to make those tweaks a reality.
We will.
Stay with us.
It is something to think about. And it's interesting because this whole idea of small corrections
Yeah.
kind of goes with the bigger trend
Okay.
that we're seeing
Yeah.
with aesthetics these days.
Okay.
It's a shift toward more natural-looking enhancements.
Oh, tell me more. I love trends.
Yeah, so people aren't necessarily looking for those drastic,
Okay.
like full transformations anymore.
Gotcha.
It's more about those subtle refinements
Right.
that just enhance their
Okay.
existing features.
So less, look at me, I had work done, and more like, wow, you look great.
Yeah,
Have you done something different?
exactly. Subtle.
Okay.
Subtle.
Okay.
It's about enhancing your natural beauty,
Right.
not erasing it.
Right.
And this definitely applies to hair restoration.
Yeah. We touched on the FUE technique earlier,
We did.
but I think it's worth kind of diving a little deeper,
Yeah, for sure.
especially since it's such a game changer for these small corrections.
Absolutely. Let's break it down.
Okay.
So with FUE, each individual hair follicle is extracted directly from what we call the donor area,
Okay.
which is usually the back or the sides of the head,
Gotcha.
using a specialized micro punch tool.
Okay.
And actually, there are different types of punches.
Oh, interesting.
Some are made from steel, some are made from sapphire,
Okay.
each with their own pros and cons.
So that explains the precision
Yeah.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
So is there one type of punch that's like the best?
It really depends.
Okay.
It depends on the individual case
Right.
and also the surgeon's preference.
Okay.
For example, sapphire blades.
Mhm.
They're known for creating these finer incisions,
Okay.
which can lead to faster healing
Hmm.
and less scarring.
Okay.
But a skilled surgeon can achieve great results with any type of punch.
Okay.
It really comes down to their technique
Gotcha.
and their experience.
So the tool is important,
Yes,
but the artist wielding it matters even more.
exactly.
And what about scarring?
Yeah.
That was a big selling point you mentioned.
Right, because the extraction is done with these tiny punches.
Mm-hmm.
The scarring is minimal,
Okay.
often barely visible,
Oh.
which is a huge contrast to older techniques like FUT,
Okay.
which stands for follicular unit transplantation,
Mm.
where they would actually remove an entire strip of scalp,
Oh, wow.
leaving a linear scar.
That sounds more intense.
It was definitely more invasive,
Yeah.
while FUT can still be a good option.
Okay.
In some cases, FUE has really become the preferred method,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're looking for subtle, undetectable results.
Makes sense. Now let's go back to Antalya for a minute.
Okay.
What specifically about the clinics there makes them stand out?
Well, cost is definitely a factor,
Yeah.
but it's not the only reason.
Right.
Antalya has really invested
Mm-hmm.
in developing these world-class facilities
Okay.
and attracting some really skilled surgeons, many with international experience.
Wow.
They also really emphasize patient care
Mm-hmm.
and comfort.
Right.
Many clinics will offer these really comprehensive packages
Oh, nice.
that include everything from the procedure itself
Right.
to accommodation,
Right.
airport transfers, and even post-operative care.
So they've really thought of everything
They really have.
to make the whole experience as smooth as possible.
Yeah, it's meant to be as easy as possible.
That's great.
And it's important to note, even with all of these advancements,
Mhm.
all the expertise,
Yeah.
the emotional side
Right.
of hair restoration
Mm-hmm.
can't be overlooked.
It can be a really sensitive issue for people.
It really can. And it can affect self-esteem, confidence, even social interactions.
Right.
It's so much more than just physical.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so important to choose a clinic that not only excels in the technical stuff,
Right.
but also understands the emotional journey
Yeah.
that their patients are going through.
So it's that balance of expertise and empathy.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're saying they're not just like hair technicians.
Right.
They're really taking the whole person into account.
Yes, a good clinic will take the time to really answer all of your questions,
Okay.
address your concerns,
Right.
and make sure that you feel comfortable and confident with your decision.
It's not just transplanting hair.
No.
It's about helping people
Yeah.
feel good about themselves again.
Exactly.
That's amazing. It's incredible how something that seems as small
I know.
as like a few
Yeah.
strategically placed
Right.
hair grafts
Right.
can have such a huge impact
It really is.
on someone's life.
It speaks to the power of feeling comfortable and confident in your own skin.
You mentioned earlier that choosing the right surgeon is crucial.
It is.
So what are some of the things that our listener should be looking for?
That's a great question.
Hmm.
So first and foremost,
Okay.
look for a surgeon
Yeah.
who specializes
Okay.
in hair restoration.
Okay.
This is a very specific field
Mm-hmm.
that requires a very deep understanding of hair biology,
Right.
facial anatomy,
Gotcha.
and artistic principles.
So it's not something, it's not, you want to trust to just any
Right.
cosmetic surgeon.
Exactly.
Okay, specialization is key.
It is.
Yes.
Don't be shy about asking to see before and after photos
Oh, yeah.
of their previous patients.
That's a good idea.
And really pay close attention to the naturalness
Mm-hmm.
of the results.
Okay.
Do the hairlines look soft
Okay.
and blended?
Right.
Or are they kind of harsh and pluggy?
Right.
You want to see results that look natural,
Right.
enhance the person's features,
Yeah.
not something that screams hair transplant.
Okay, that's a great tip. Anything else to keep in mind?
Yeah, look for surgeons who are active members of reputable hair restoration organizations,
Okay.
like the ISHRS, the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgery.
Okay.
These organizations have really strict membership criteria
Mm-hmm.
and often require surgeons to really demonstrate their skills and knowledge.
Right. So it's a good indicator that they're staying
Absolutely.
up to date with the latest
Up to date.
technique. Okay, so checking credentials,
Yeah, okay.
experience is important.
Very.
What about during the consultation itself? Are there specific questions that our listener should ask?
Absolutely. A consultation should be a two-way street.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask about the surgeon's experience with FUE,
Mhm.
the types of punches they use,
Okay.
their approach to hairline design,
Right.
and what their thoughts are on your specific case.
Okay.
Ask about the different stages of hair growth after the transplantation,
Right.
what to expect during recovery,
Okay.
and also what kind of long-term results you can realistically expect.
So it's about being an active participant in the process
Yes,
and feeling empowered to ask questions.
absolutely.
What about the emotional side of things?
Yeah.
Should that be part of the conversation too?
A good surgeon will be receptive
Oh,
to your concerns
Hmm.
and anxieties.
right.
They'll understand that hair loss can be a really sensitive topic,
Right.
and they'll create a safe and supportive environment for you
Right.
to share your thoughts and feelings.
Okay, so it's about feeling comfortable
Yes.
and confident
Absolutely.
with the surgeon,
Mhm.
not just their technical skills.
Like a big decision.
Right.
And you want to feel like you're in good hands,
For sure.
both technically
Yeah.
and emotionally.
Okay, so we've talked about finding a skilled and compassionate surgeon,
Mm-mm.
the technical details of FUE,
Yes.
the unique benefits of Antalya,
Mhm.
and the emotional impact of hair loss.
Right.
Anything else we need to cover?
You know, there's one more point I think is worth highlighting,
Okay.
and it's something that I think often gets overlooked.
Oh, intrigue me.
It's the importance of managing expectations.
Okay.
Hair transplantation.
Mm.
Even these small corrections.
Yeah.
It's not a magic cure.
Oh, so it's not an instant fix.
Exactly. It's a process.
Okay.
It takes time.
Right.
It takes patience.
Okay.
And it takes realistic expectations.
Okay. So you're saying the transplanted hair doesn't just magically appear overnight.
No, the transplanted hair will actually go through a shedding phase
Oh, interesting.
before it starts to grow back.
Okay.
And it can take several months
Wow.
to a year
Okay.
to see the final results.
So it's important to be prepared
It is.
for that
yeah.
transition period.
That's right.
So what can our listener expect during that time?
Well, after the procedure, there will be some redness and swelling,
Okay.
which is totally normal.
Okay.
That usually subsides within a few days.
Mm-hmm.
The transplanted hair will then fall out.
It falls out.
It does, but this is completely normal.
Okay.
It's known as shock loss.
Okay.
And it's just part of the natural hair growth cycle.
So it's not a sign that something's wrong.
No, not at all.
Okay.
New hair will start to grow in a few months.
Yeah.
But again, it can take up to a year to see the full results.
Okay, that's quite a wait. What can help someone stay positive and patient during that time?
Well, a good clinic will be very transparent
Okay.
about this whole process.
Right.
They'll give you really clear guidance
Okay.
on postoperative care,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be there to answer your questions
Right.
and address any concerns that you have.
So it's important to have that support.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also helpful to connect with other people
Okay.
who've gone through the same procedure.
Yeah.
Online forums,
Right.
support groups can offer valuable advice and encouragement.
It's good to know you're not alone.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone in this journey.
Right.
Hair loss is a really common experience.
Yeah.
And there are so many resources available to help you navigate it.
Yeah. And it's good to remember that everyone's hair loss journey is unique.
It really is what works for one person,
Right.
may not work for another.
Right.
And there are so many factors
Yeah.
that can influence
Mhm.
the success of a hair transplant,
Right.
including your age, your overall health, the extent of your hair loss, even your genetics.
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have that really thorough consultation
Right.
with a qualified hair restoration specialist.
Right.
They can help you assess your needs,
Okay.
determine if you're a good candidate,
Right.
and discuss the best options for achieving your desired results.
Okay. So personalized care
Mm-hmm.
and realistic expectations.
Yes, those are really the key takeaways.
All right. So we talked about the procedure.
Yeah.
The recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
What about long-term care?
Okay.
Is there anything our listener needs to know about maintaining the results?
That's another great question.
Oh,
So while FUE transplants are considered permanent,
okay.
it's important to remember that the hair on your scalp will continue to age,
Right.
and it might be susceptible to thinning or loss in the future.
Right.
That's why it's so important to really adopt
Okay.
a holistic approach
Okay. I like that.
to hair health.
What does that entail?
So many things.
Okay.
It means eating a healthy diet, rich in vitamins and minerals,
Mm-hmm.
managing stress levels,
Okay.
getting enough sleep,
Right.
avoiding those harsh chemicals or
Mhm.
styling practices
Okay.
that can really damage the hair.
Right.
And of course, regular checkups with your hair restoration specialist
Right.
are really important to monitor your progress
Right.
and address any concerns.
So you're saying it's really about taking this
Yes.
proactive approach to hair health,
Absolutely.
both before
Yeah.
and after the
Mhm.
procedure.
That's right. And remember, even those small corrections can have a really big impact
Yeah.
on your overall well-being.
Right.
It's about reclaiming your confidence,
Mm-hmm.
embracing your unique beauty,
Right.
and feeling good in your own skin.
It's amazing how, as we're talking about this idea of acceptance
Yeah.
and self-love,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me think about how much pressure we get from society
I know.
and the media
Yeah.
to look a certain way,
It's a huge factor.
especially with hair. You know, you see all these images of perfect hair,
Perfect hair.
and it can be hard to feel good
Yeah.
about your own natural features.
Especially when it comes to hair loss.
Right.
It's often portrayed as something to be hidden
Right.
or to be ashamed of.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important to challenge those unrealistic beauty standards
Absolutely.
and really redefine what it means to have good hair.
Yeah, because good hair
Yeah.
is healthy hair.
Right.
Good hair is hair that makes you feel confident and comfortable.
And hair that reflects your own
Yes,
unique personality.
absolutely.
Ah,
And that can look different for everyone,
right.
whether it's embracing your natural curls,
Mm,
rocking a shaved head,
yeah.
or, exploring different hairstyles and colors.
Okay.
It's about finding what makes you feel authentically you.
I love that. And that might include small corrections
And,
or hair restoration procedures,
right?
if that's something that aligns with your goals.
It's about having the power to make choices
Yeah.
that support your well-being
Right.
and your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's your hair,
Right.
your journey.
Yeah.
It's choice.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway is that hair restoration
Mhm.
is so much more than a physical transformation.
It is.
It's about reclaiming your confidence,
Yeah.
embracing your unique beauty,
Mm-hmm.
and feeling good in your own skin.
Couldn't agree more.
Hmm.
It's really about this holistic approach to well-being
Right.
that recognizes how interconnected
Mm-hmm.
our physical, emotional, and mental health are.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We explored the benefits of small corrections,
Yeah.
the importance of finding that skilled surgeon, and that empowering journey of really reclaiming your confidence.
It's powerful.
And we talked about those emotional aspects
We did.
of hair loss,
Mhm.
the importance of managing expectations.
Absolutely.
And we did a deep dive into Antalya,
We did.
all those advanced techniques
Mhm.
and patient-centered care.
Yes.
That makes it such a popular destination.
Mm.
So before we wrap up,
Yeah.
is there anything else you want to leave our listener with?
You know, I think the most important thing to leave your listener with is a sense of hope and possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, hair loss doesn't have to be a life sentence. You know what I mean?
Right.
With all the advancements in technology, the
Right.
growing expertise of all these hair restoration specialists,
Yeah.
there really are more options available now than ever before.
That's great.
Whether it's small corrections or more extensive procedures, there really is a solution out there that can help you achieve your desired results and reclaim your confidence.
And it's not just about the physical changes.
No, it's also about the emotional transformation.
Yeah.
It's about feeling good about yourself inside and out.
That's a good point. And, something we haven't really talked about, but
Yeah.
we've kind of touched on it,
Mm-hmm.
is that hair is so much more than just strands on our head. It really is. It's intertwined with our identity,
Yeah.
our self-image,
Right.
even our cultural heritage.
So here's a question for you.
Okay.
If hair holds such deep personal significance,
Yeah.
how can we cultivate a more positive and accepting relationship with our own hair,
That's a great question.
regardless of its thickness, its color, its
Right.
texture?
That's a fantastic question to ponder.
Yeah.
I think it starts with really recognizing the beauty and uniqueness
Mm-hmm.
of our own hair
Right.
and embracing it
Yeah.
as part of what makes us who we are.
And letting go of those societal pressures,
Absolutely.
the unrealistic beauty standards,
Yeah, just finding what makes you feel confident and comfortable in your own skin.
hair and all.
Hair and all, exactly.
Okay, well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive.
Yeah,
We've covered a lot of ground.
we have.
We talked about everything from the technical details of FUE to the emotional aspects of hair restoration.
We did.
We explored the benefits of small corrections, the importance of finding a skilled and compassionate surgeon,
For sure.
and that empowering journey of reclaiming your confidence.
Love it.
And we also took a closer look at Antalya,
Mm-hmm.
how it's become this global hub for hair transplants.
It has.
So we hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and confidence to explore your options.
That's what we want.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to something as personal as hair. Thanks for joining us.